Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Main Character Syndrome. I'm your host, Cheesymanfredo, aka Alfredo Morales. And with me here, as always, Julian.
Yep, that's me. This is the voice that goes to that name.
True. Yeah, that's his name. All right. So if you know him by any other name, that's not him. That's usually how that works, right? With names.
Yeah, that's why you have to change your Twitter handle every 3 months so that the ops don't keep up with you.
Every time I get canceled, I change my name. So they can't catch up to me.
Oh, no, that was a different guy. That was a Buttmuncher 74. I'm Buttmuncher 75.
I didn't make that big Twitter artist comic. That wasn't me, dude. You're thinking of someone else. But anyway, thanks to our previous guest of Kazoo Chachu. He was here last episode. We were talking about the Christian origins of Goku.
Wow.
And how we can learn a lot from that. I feel like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, just, you know, are you familiar with Goku, Raven?
I know Goku.
You know, Goku.
I never watched Dragon Balls though growing up ever.
I could tell.
But one time
anime is bad, but Goku is pretty good.
One time when I was a kid, my friend had a Dragon Ball manga, and I really wanted to read it, and he said, "Okay, you could take it home and read it." But then he gave me like a list of rules for how I could read it, and he said, "You're not allowed to read it in the bathroom."
Well, that's a decent rule, right? Like, you don't want to get like they don't like poop particles in the air, right? Like, that's the big fret, you know, float in the air, get on his manga.
I guess. Why even like lend it to me if that's...
I mean, that's a lot better than the rules that my parents made for us. Like, yeah, you can watch the Powerpuff Girls, but no episodes with the Gangrene Gang. Like, what? That's like half the episodes.
What's wrong with What's wrong with the Gangrene
Gang? Yeah, what do
gang?
they do? Are they racist?
Maybe.
Are they racist depictions of a group that I'm not familiar with?
Green people?
Like Filipinos or something?
That could be a Twitter question. Like, which ethnicity do you think these guys are?
I mean, the little guy is like Hispanic.
They're all. I always thought they were kind of like different shades of like Hispanic was my point of view. Oh my God. You forget all that. Let's stop being sidetracked. It's today's episode is a meeting of the minds. We have two superstars with us, two superstars of the indie sphere of comics.
Okay.
We got Eddy Adams.
Hello.
Eddy, you there?
Yes, I'm there. Hello.
Yeah, returning champion Eddy Adams.
Thanks for having me again.
And right, exactly. Yeah, of course. You know, it's always a pleasure. And another returning Raven.
Hi.
Lyn Clemens over there.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of like Jesse Eisenberg in Batman v Superman, where he's like, I get Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne to meet.
Hey.
You know that scene? That iconic scene.
It is iconic.
I think we talked about this last time. I've never seen that movie.
We talked about a lot of things you haven't seen last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you both wanted to meet each other, like really super bad.
Well, you said Eddy was going to be on, and I said, "Oh, that sounds cool. I'll come on."
You rushed to the occasion.
Hell yeah! Nice to meet you, Raven.
Nice to meet you, Eddy. I'm a big fan of your stuff.
I'm a big fan of your stuff, and your fan art of Pinky and Pepper is probably my favorite Pinky and Pepper fan art that exists.
Okay, fuck my fan art, I guess.
Hey, you know, it's up there.
Actually, I can't remember the last time I drew Pinky and Pepper. I was gonna draw. I can't tell. Maybe you already drew this, Eddy, but I was gonna draw Pinky and Pepper wearing the cowboy Barbie and Ken outfit.
Oh, that would be good.
That'd be cute.
I wanted to do a Barbie and Ken meme of them, like when they get arrested.
Oh yeah.
But I never made it. I just sketched it.
See, that idea felt so like kind of easy that I was like, did someone already draw this? Because I felt like someone already drew it. And there was like another mutual of mine. I forget her name. I think she goes by like Jessie. She's drawn like other Pinky and Pepper fan art, and I swear I thought she drew some in the past, but I DM'd her and she's all like, No, I never drew that, but that's such a good idea. They go by Jesse, but on Twitter they go by @legsweat.
Oh, I know that person.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
They've done Pinky and Pepper art. I think I DM'd it to you before, Eddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I appreciate when you send me those things. They're really. I love to see the fan art. They're so cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, true. It is. It's really awesome. We're big Pinky and Pepper fans on the podcast. You already knew that, Eddy.
Yeah, thank you. Is it true? Because I was trying to remember this, but is it true that you found out about this comic from 4chan?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I think it's been a long time, so I can reiterate the story for audiences. But basically, I think I was that was probably the first year I started doing like Lyft, or Uber or whatever. I forget which one, but it was like very slow. So I went on 4chan on my phone, like you usually do, right?
As one does.
And there was like a thread where someone was just posting the whole comic, and I started reading it, and I was like, "Yo, this is pretty fucking good."
The whole comic, it's like 60 pages.
They let you do that? It was just cell phone pictures of the pages, which is that was pretty cool.
Yeah, when I got to and I remember like thinking like when I got to I guess spoilers for Pinky and Pepper. If you should be reading it by now. You should have read it. God damn it!
Yeah, it's been like how many years? A decade?
It's actually coming up on 6 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's longer.
The sequel is gonna come out, and you don't want to be left behind. You know.
It's actually not a sequel. I have to speak up. It's just a new edition of the book with a bunch of extra stuff. So it's not really a sequel.
Are you George Lucas in the book?
Yeah, it's actually more like the Snyder cut.
Extended, there's way more Pinky and Pepper lore. There's a bunch of side characters got introduced.
No,
are you going to add more
really
art snob characters?
There's maybe I should. I'm still working on it. What I'm adding most of is more art by Pinky and Pepper. So like a lot of those like pieces that were in the book that were like, supposed to be painted by Pinky or Pepper, like I made a whole bunch more of those to kind of give more context to their inner world vibes. And there's a few more pages inside of the book, and then there's kind of like some like joke strips for the end of the book.
You should do an alt ending where like Pinky looks at Pepper and say like, "Sorry for the way I treated you, Pepper. Let's go to heaven."
Yeah, there was a Pinky and Pepper in Heaven sort of sequel being thrown around in my mind. And that concept will be in sort of these like joke strips in the back. Not quite the way that you've described it, but not too far off either.
Right. You should a pretty funny like kind of meme I've been seeing going around is like when a character kind of intervenes in like kind of like an emotional moment in some sort of cartoon or something. Like people editing Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I can't remember what scene it was, but it's like it'd be like the movie Whiplash, and J.K. Simmons is yelling at Miles Teller, and then Sonic the Hedgehog shows up and says, "Not cool. Don't do that. Don't be mean to him."
That's nice of Sonic.
Yeah, that's really cool of Sonic. Like that would be me though if I was in Whiplash. I'd be like, "That's not cool. That's abuse. Don't yell at him.
I hate Whiplash.
He's doing his best."
You're an angel for that.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I'm an angel.
I hate Whiplash.
On the other hand, it's kind of like, has like media literacy gotten so bad that we need Sonic the Hedgehog to like tell people that the thing in the movie about abuse or like the comic book about dogs dying is like uncool. It's a little silly to me, but
I think it's like ironic. Like it's like ironic. I've seen like people on TikTok do the same joke because it's like it's like there was like I remember one edit where like it was that scene from SpongeBob where like the customer is like ordering things and like Squidward is being sarcastic to every like addition to the order until like the fish character starts going on this very long rant about like why Squidward's annoying and people like SpongeBob better, and it's like a part of me thinks that might be ironic, but like at the same time, it's like I could see someone honestly like thinking this during that scene, be like, "Not cool, Squidward. This is why people like SpongeBob."
I think it's like half ironic a lot of the time with that stuff.
Yeah, it is. Raven, you said you hate Whiplash. That's cool. I like hate people who like Whiplash, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate. I love everyone, but I don't like Whiplash. I hate movies.
I've been kind of like I've been throwing around a term a lot where like currently right now kind of like the seeds of my controversy has resprouted and recently on Twitter. This is the Twitter news hour, by the way, of the podcast. And well, basically, a couple years ago, I drew a comic about a big Twitter artist and a small Twitter artist.
Oh, I do remember.
And yeah, exactly. And I got a lot of flack for that. I still think it's super funny that I did that. I probably wouldn't do that again. I mean, I'm like at 15K followers now, so I'm not a smaller artist no more, right? But recently, another artist reposted that same comic, and it's like refueled this new cycle of people like making edits to it, right?
Yeah.
And I tweeted out like a picture of like Whiplash, where over J.K. Simmons is a big Twitter artist, and over Miles Teller, a small Twitter artist, and caption it with like, "This is what we're doing to small Twitter artists when we don't retweet their stuff." It's all a game. It's all to train them to be better. And
people really,
but on our
yeah,
go on.
I was gonna say people really got mad about that comic. I didn't realize how mad people were about that comic.
There's like a article on meme Know Your Meme about that comic, and
I have a Know Your Meme also.
Yeah, I bet it's very flattering too. Know Your Meme.
It's just about the most racist man alive, and just just telling everyone about him and his whole thing, I guess.
I love that. I love that guy, the most racist man alive.
I don't. I hate him.
We should give him a TV show. You'll be able to give him an arc.
Should.
No, I wish he'd die. I tried to kill him.
You can't do that. You can't just kill a character, especially if it catches on.
Raven, it seems like all your characters come back from the dead.
Like which ones?
Had a few chapters of Tom Hickey. He crawls out of the grave.
Right. He comes. Well, he wasn't dead. He was just buried underground.
He's like a Fallout ghoul.
He was buried underground for 2 years, looking for worms.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
It happens to the rest
of us. I did research before coming in today.
About One Piece, I assume, right?
No, not One Piece. I read a bunch of your comics. I read the villain verse. I read the one with the alien girlfriends.
Oh, cool.
I read the McDonald's one.
That means a lot.
And
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Because I felt bad last time that I hadn't read any of your stuff. Thought that was kind of inconsiderate. And
I've only read like the problem with getting better. I've not read Tom the Hinky Dinky, whatever it's called.
Tom Hinky Dinky.
I was in the same boat until about 30 minutes ago, and I read 2 chapters of Old Hinky Dinky.
Old Hinky Dinky.
Yeah, just to catch up. Yeah, in case I have Hinky Dinky questions.
I just came back from Chicago. I was doing a big Comic-Con with Silver Sprocket.
Chicago.
Yeah, it was cool over there. I like it over there. We sold a ton of your books, Raven. The Paradox of Getting Better. I'm always selling it to people, like being like, "Oh, this is like the best like mental health book that is not a mental health book at all." And I'm always wondering, like, if people are gonna bring it home, like not expecting, somebody to be eating the family cat in the first chapter.
That's risky.
Yeah,
that's a risky thing to say. What if they get worse? What if they get worse after they read it?
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. They can take it up with you, I guess.
sometimes I feel kind of weird, like telling people, "Oh, it's like a comic about mental health," because I feel like a lot of comics about mental health are like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be like snobby or weird here, but they're like very like careful. They're like very like respectful of everything, and like they try to frame everything in a very like I don't know what the word to use, like
with guardrails.
Yeah, that sounds like, I don't know. That sounds like something like a dumb comedian would say. But yeah, like
Oh, you're right.
like I'm not saying there's like some of that. A lot of that stuff is like totally fine, you know. But I feel like yeah, my comic is like, I don't know. It does. I feel weird calling it like a mental health comic because I don't want it really lumped in with that stuff because it just kind of feels weird.
Yeah,
because like there's like people getting killed and doing horrible things to each other. I mean, that is like, I guess that is part of
tagline if you prefer that. But I like it for that reason. I think it's really cool, and
thanks.
I think a lot of the stuff that you're kind of talking about is very like infographic vibes, which to me has been one of the more negative influences on comics and I guess graphic art in general, is like everything that's like seeking to like explain something and like be very like 101, when like a lot of us, you know, we've already had shit explained to us and we're ready to like experience you know what people are really fucking thinking.
I don't know. I feel I don't. Yeah, I'm personally, I'm not really into that sort of like storytelling thing. I'm not really into comics like that, where it's just like someone like explaining something basically to the audience, just like talking to them face to face. I'm just like not into that really as like a way of storytelling. But
even if
someone else is into that.
Even if it's Sonic,
if it was Sonic, then it would be good.
There's that TikTok of like someone animates Sonic describing like union tactics and how to like form a union at your job. The thing I keep seeing.
Sonic doesn't know anything about that. He's a little hedgehog.
He lives in there is no need for a union in his world. He's free. There's only one guy he's got to worry about. Oh my god. But oh yeah, go on, Eddie.
I don't know. I feel like I said my piece, but we did sell out of your book at C2E2. Plenty of people seemed really interested in it, and yeah, it's a cool one. But it does make me like think about all the people I sell it to, being like, I wonder when they read this, you know.
This is how you should sell it next time. You pull up the most racist man in the world, like Know Your Meme page, and be like, you know this person, and and if, depending on the answer, like you'll see.
The worst way to advertise it.
Oh, like a movie promo from the producers of
the most racist man.
Yeah,
yikes.
That's the kind of thing. That's like it's something I kind of realized yesterday, seeing all like the people do like their own like big Twitter artist comics, makes me realize like, damn, at this point, these might be like my comic that's gotten the most fan art, right? Like second place would probably be like maybe Bongo and Luna, but this is like way more, right? And it's kind of
I'm browsing the Know Your Meme right now.
Nice. Yeah, doing your research on the podcast. Like, turn to the camera and explain the whole meme, the Know Your Meme page, please.
The thing with the most racist man alive is it's like annoying because people just like spam me stuff about it mostly. That's why it's annoying.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm like I don't feel like whenever they do like fan art of it or something, or they make like the stupid t-shirts and stuff, I don't feel like, oh no, they're winning or something. Because it's pretty like lame. Because Or like idolizing this guy that has a T-shirt that says "the most racist man alive." It's just like dumb. Like if you honestly buy a shirt like that, you're like please do it, because everyone's gonna know you're a fucking idiot and not want to have anything to do with you if you wear that. Like you just bought a shirt that
because I have 3.
You have 3? Oh no!
I can't believe
all from 3 different people selling the same shirt.
Right.
There's so many people selling the exact same shirt. Like
there should be a competition. The most racist people in the world have to battle each other to crown number 1.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are kind of bots and stuff also.
Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, people have just put the most racist man alive like on T-shirts.
They just put the text on T-shirts, and it's just it's like, okay, you just wasted your money on a shirt that you can only wear indoors. Where if you wear it outdoors, everyone's gonna think you're an idiot. So like I'm not angry at people like making money off that or anything.
I pity them.
I don't even pity them. It's just like it's just kind of funny, I guess. And
so if you buy one, you're a sucker. But if you sell one, congratulations, nice grift.
Yeah. I guess I say I support the grift.
That's this Raven's pro-capitalism stance.
I don't know. I don't
like pro-grift.
I don't support it, but it's like I know I can't control it. So like
you can't stop it. Yeah,
no, I can't control it. So it's like whatever, you know.
You should at Joe Biden on Twitter being like, excuse me, they're selling my shirts.
Old Joe. Me and Joe. Yeah, I'm close.
Stop it.
I'm close with Joe.
Yeah, but he's like your mentor. Oh my God. All right.
In life's most difficult moments, you remember musings from him. And then it's just like a Dragon Ball Z style montage of everyone's favorite Joe sayings.
It's the scene where Joe Nappa is gonna kill Gohan with that giant blast, but Joe Biden steps in the way and dies. But not really. He's in heaven. Well, he's in like Dragon Ball Z heaven, and there's like they're gonna revive him when they get on Namek.
Yeah.
Okay, well, enough about that. Raven, I wanted to ask, what did you think of my comics? Best comics ever or best comics ever?
I liked them. I liked the one about the alien girlfriends. It's cute.
Yeah,
of course you do. Of course you do.
Okay, I don't know why you said it like that.
I keep telling him, bring back the alien girlfriends.
I'll bring them back. Look, oh my God!
I was reading the villain verse. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
It was very like just reminded me a lot of like Devilman and like
nice.
What is that one called? I can't remember. Where it's like the school in the middle of the apocalypse, and there's all these like monsters and stuff. Mutant
elves.
No, it's like Sub-Zero or something. I can't remember what it's called.
I took a big inspiration from Super Jail with Villainverse. That was one of my big things. Big fan of like just characters constantly like dying in the background. It's funny you bring up Villainverse because just last night I was talking to my partner and we were just talking about kind of like just random things, and they because I usually tell my partner all these ideas that come to mind for comics, and they were like telling me like yeah, I never really liked that idea you had for a comic, and that became like a longer discussion, and eventually we landed on Villainverse, saying that there's some issues of Villainverse they don't like, and I'm like, wait, which ones? And then we just went over all of them just so they could just give me like their full criticism of Villainverse. A lot of it kind of boiled down to that like issues 2 and 3 are kind of hard to read, and like I agree. I feel like I could have made. I feel like each issue gets better in my opinion, but yeah, those like second and third ones are kind of like they're kind of tough to parse.
Yeah, they were sometimes like kind of like there's a lot of visual information, I guess.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of doing the forbidden artist technique of just remaking the whole comic.
Wow.
Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. Just learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, don't do that.
I might. I don't know. I'll see how it be.
Redo some
in a
art.
year from now.
Redo some art if you like really need to.
Right.
That's what I did with Tom Hickey.
The whole thing digitally?
No, it was like traditional, but I think for this next chapter, I'm gonna do it digitally. But I don't know yet. There's like a bunch of things I want to do. I'm very much in a. I don't believe in like stuff like karma or whatnot, but all the like financial kind of risk I took like the last couple of years with just focusing on my art are catching up to me to the point where like I'm doing more like of my actual day job than actually working on art, you know?
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, so that's like all catching up to me. I mean, I'm like at least making money to like live, which is fine. But like, it's like, oh, I'm at that point where like I'm coming home super tired. There's like there's these commissions I owe people. There's all these comics I want to draw, and the comic idea machine never stops, you know. So there's just like so many.
Yeah, it's always like that. I'm always wishing I could pause time and just get some stuff done because I always have so many ideas and
yeah. No, I feel you, brother. I've been I always bring up the like clone the clone option. I'm gonna take the clone surgery, so there could be another one of me that draws comics. But my partner's always like, you guys are just gonna end up killing each other or something, and it's like, nah. My ego is huge. I would love that.
Yeah, me
that
and we
other
just
clone.
end up fucking each other. We'd never get anything done.
At least like once. Yeah, at least once you do it, you know, just to see, right? You know.
I'm imagining this scenario, like obviously the clone is the one that would go to work, but then like your clone will come home and say, hey man, I'm really horny right now. Oh, no problem. I can fix that for you. I know exactly how you like it.
This is my cell ship, like porn dojin. You're describing. Clone comes home from work. Oh, I'm super horny.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's fucking awesome.
I feel like having sex with your clone would feel weird. Like not like an ethical way. Like I would feel like it would just be like having sex with a mirror. Like it would give you like motion sickness or something, you know?
Maybe.
Like it would be motion sickness glasses.
Yeah, it just would be like weird to be like looking at yourself and having sex with yourself. It would just, I feel like it would just like make me like nauseous. Like it would just feel weird.
I think that was like an episode of the show Shivering Truth.
Oh yeah,
there's like a segment where he sleeps with like a mirror. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
I watched. I don't know if I finished. I never finished it. I don't think, but I watched like a bunch of episodes.
Were you like, this is too weird? What were they smoking? Is that what you were thinking?
I when I was like in my late teens, I was a big fan of like Wonder Chosen and
oh yeah, prefer what's the name of their like little art group?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, they're the people who made Wonder Shows and Xavier Renegade Angel. You familiar with them, Eddy?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every teenager has like a Xavier Renegade Angel Wonder Chosen face.
I got into Xavier like late because one of my buddies of mine. I have a buddy who's kind of a huge spiritualist, and he's all like, "Oh, you gotta watch Xavier. It's like my favorite show." And I'm like, "All right." And then I watch it, and I'm like, "Oh, I really fucking love Xavier Renegade Angel." But at the same time, I was like, "But why does he like this show? This show is like clearly like shitting on people like him."
Yeah.
But
that comes back to the whole like half ironic thing. Is like if you hit like a middle ground where like people who are genuinely like that are gonna feel it, and people who are making fun of people like that are also gonna feel it.
It's kind of like how all of the best anti-lolicon manga are made by actual pedophiles. And so, what did you mean?
Is that common knowledge, Julian?
I didn't know anything about that.
I have a list. I'll share it later.
Okay. I have a list. It's called the Sex Offender Registry. Yeah, I got my lolicon list only just to keep an eye on them guys, not to like.
Well, you hang out in certain spaces and people say, "No, listen, it's not porn. This is actually a great book about the struggles of young women. And I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see.
All right, whatever you say, you sick fuck, arrest this man. What was it? I'm sorry, you said the word lowly and it fucking threw off my train of thought.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah, like I mean, speaking about media literacy, it's kind of interesting. I mean, like I guess Xavier never like I guess sometimes with people it's like if you don't see the main character like face like true repercussions for their actions, it's like, oh, it's not condemning him, obviously. And it's like, yeah, I guess not.
Vernon.
I mean, even if they do, like people idolize Walter White, and he literally dies. Yeah. So
you know what? I actually have a hot Walter White take.
A hot take from Raven. Oh, never heard of this one.
Well, no, I just think earlier on in the show, it was kind of like, I feel like later on they're like, okay, Walter is like bad, sort of, you know? But like earlier on, even in like season 2 and 3 and stuff, I feel like they were kind of like, even like the Gus season, like a little bit, like, I think even the writers were a little bit like, yeah, he's kind of bad, but he's also kind of like badass. Like they did like play into the fact that he was like kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like. And
I see that.
And they definitely didn't do that with like someone like Saul and Better Call Saul, I don't feel like. Or not in the same way.
So
I guess
he's
they kind of like
kind of cool.
Yeah. And so I guess they so I feel like a lot of like the cultural reaction to like Walter, like especially the early stuff was kind of like people saying like, oh, Walter's just like badass, he's just protecting his family and stuff. I feel like a little bit of that was them actually just picking up on actual stuff that was deliberate in the show a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Is that controversial?
No, I don't think so. I think like because
it sounds like an actual read of the show, which is actually rare these days.
It's like sometimes like I think people really kind of like blanket statement a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not supposed to like Walter White. But I'm like, that's like totally ignoring that. Like, well, you know, they want you to keep watching the show. So if you make a character you don't like, you're gonna stop watching it. So they have to make him like likable to a degree, or like, you know, what if like, I don't know, some things are like done by accident. You know, you can't like you can't be like, oh, they
develop naturally.
Yeah, basically.
They were just like they were just figuring stuff out, and like they were just like kind of learning as they went, as they made that show.
I also don't think they're like like those type of statements like, oh, you're not supposed to. Like I don't think that's like super helpful for any type of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Yeah, it's like a weird it's like I get the like when it's like the vibe of you're condemning someone like you're enjoying this wrong actually.
It's just weird. It's just weird, like you said, like when people like do like, 'cause I feel like people like there was like the backlash to people being like, oh, Walter's so fucking cool. Everyone was like, well, actually, obviously, he's never supposed to be cool. He's not cool at all. He's just
nerd emoji.
He's just a nerd. He's just a dork. He's just a loser. But like,
no, he's kind of a badass.
He's framed as being kind of like a badass.
I
Like,
mean, he has like his badass like moments. Like, you know, come on now. Like, oh, were you supposed to shake your... I'm shaking my head every time Walt does a badass thing because, like, you know, just to let people know I condemn his actions.
I feel like that's why like Saul, or I think, is like less easy to misconstrue, because the stuff you like about him as like a character in that show is like not the like the Saul persona stuff, if that makes sense. You like him because he's like you like him because he's like a cute little funny guy.
He's just a guy.
That's
he's just
what
a
I
little
just
guy.
see is like he's so baby girl everywhere. Like
people like when he's like a baby. People like when he's like a baby girl, but like when he's like a shitty creep, they like. I don't know. I feel like people didn't. Oh, it could also be just because like the Breaking Bad fandom sort of is like matured.
Personally, I dig it when the Better Call Saul guy is a creep. Those are my favorite parts.
Mhm.
I like it, but it doesn't make me like him. Yeah,
That's awesome.
but I was I don't know. It was the same thing with like I was thinking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia recently.
Yeah,
and how
people were bringing that up.
people are like always like, oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like such a good like parody of like bad people, basically. But like it's like there is a lot of stuff like that, but at the same time, like the show is like does like just have like edgy jokes that are just like the point of the joke is that it's edgy and like that's it, sort of.
Yeah.
Like it's not even really making fun of people. Like they just like guys making it are just kind of like they're like I don't know. They're like kind of South Parky kind of guys.
I was talking to my partner about this because there's this very like big, and tell me if you think this is incredibly insane what I'm describing, but I feel like people are kind of like anxious about where the world is going. You know, they feel a little like kind of helpless, right? You know, like they have no real control over anything, right? All these awful things keep happening in the world, you know. The one thing you do have a lot of control over is like the media you consume, you know. But like consuming media all day is like kind of like selfish, and it's not really a good thing. So you try to like, you know, frame it as like, oh no, but like the stuff I'm consuming is made by good people, you know, and they're doing like good things, you know, and then you hear like, oh, Always Sunny is a show about like these awful edgy people, but you have to frame it out like, well, actually it's a parody of awful edgy people, and it's like, well, like adding the whole parody line doesn't really mean anything to it, you know? Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that. I think
the paradigm shifted, and you were only a good person if all you watch are Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood reruns.
You know what? I've actually never seen a single episode of Mr. Rogers.
It's surprisingly good. Like, I don't know if they have it on YouTube, but he has a segment called like How People Make Thing. Those are awesome.
I know all the I know through like osmosis, like everything about it. I just I've never seen a single episode of the show.
Yeah. If you saw an episode when you were a child, you wouldn't have that Know Your Meme page. like guaranteed. That would have fixed it, right?
Mr. Rogers thinks you shouldn't be mean to racist people.
Right. Yeah, he said that on the show.
Don't be mean to racist people.
Don't be mean. There's still people, guys. Don't be mean to them.
I could see that being an episode. Like maybe Mary Elaine Fairchild is like, we're going to kill that racist guy. And everyone's like, no, you can't do that. Come on, be reasonable, lady.
Killing is wrong. You can't do that thing. You know?
And then she uses her boomerang and everybody's like, oh, he's dead. Now what do we do?
Mm-hmm. You know, I think earlier, so I was mentioning about like, oh, people want the things they consume to be kind of like morally good because, you know, they fear they're not doing enough good things. So the things they have to consume have to be good too. And I think you see this more obviously with like content creators, or like kind of like when people like really push on a content creator to talk about like kind of current thing. You get me?
Sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking to
in general.
I'm trying to recall if I've ever observed this, but I don't think I have.
Mm-hmm.
I do know for a fact that I did not watch Euphoria because I found out that Drake was connected to it. And it's cool to hate everything Drake does.
Even the Grousies?
Yeah, retroactively. You kind of have to do extra work to cleanse yourself of any pre-existing Drake associations.
Well, Drake is everywhere, so you can't like he's got his little fingers and everything.
That's true.
So that's like tough. Now. He's kind of like the air we breathe, and you know he's he's just that popular. So there's no real way to avoid him.
What were you saying about
Drake? Pretty easily.
Yeah, same actually.
And you're proud you avoid Eddie bragging about proud to avoid a black man. Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Eddie and Raven both said they like. I avoid black guys. Oh, okay. All right.
It's actually
That's
okay to
weird.
be racist to Drake because other black people don't like him.
Was
That's
it
right,
that
yeah.
Kendrick line about he's not allowed to say the N-word? I don't know.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that was hard. I did not listen to the full diss track because it's long. I don't want to talk too much about that because I actually don't know too much about that. I don't want to seem like some big buffoon talking out of my ass like I usually do, right?
What were you saying about like content creators being pressured to say stuff?
Because I remember like a couple months ago, people were really pressuring this content creator named Brittany Broski to talk about like Palestine, right? And her content is very much kind of like more like jokey, you know? And it's like it feels like people like, you know, like they feel like they aren't doing enough, so they need the people like they consume media from to also be like morally good, like I mentioned before, right? You know,
well, that's
like
just like,
I'm not.
Oh, sorry, go on. I was just gonna say that's like weird because like nobody knows really like what she's done personally. Like maybe she's like donated money or something. Like
Right. I mean,
you don't know.
Yeah, not too many people have made public statements like about it, you know. Right. And the thing is that like I get it about like raising like awareness and whatnot. I think that's good. Right. But I also think like I think there is like you could raise awareness, but I don't need like every like jokey internet person to be on like the same side, or I guess like raising awareness too, you know. I mean, it's good when they do it. I think it is a good, but like I don't know, pressuring people to like kind of say it, like even if like let's say they don't agree, let's say they have all the evil beliefs, it's still kind of like weird and like annoying thing to do, you know?
Yeah, it's like
unless it's the nostalgia critic, because technically nothing that he says is his voice. So yeah, he should be a mouthpiece for whatever thing I think I care about.
The nostalgia critic is pro-Palestine. I know this.
That would be a big surprise.
That'd be crazy. I'm pretty sure he's like neutral about it.
I'm pretty sure he's like neutral in everything. He's like the biggest atheist ever.
He is. True.
Yeah, like it is kind of weird when people get like so caught up in like the need to have like public figures like condemn certain things, I guess sometimes. But like I don't know, like it's also kind of like good to like ask, I guess. But like it's just like I wouldn't get your like hopes up, you know.
Yeah.
Like or like get all like wrapped up in it, you know. Like it's not like the most important thing in the world if like Taylor Swift tweets about like Palestine, because
she should, because I would be really crazy to see what would happen next.
It would be very interesting to see what would happen. But like I mean, like people are like, if she tweets about Palestine, like this will change the whole thing. This will change the whole game. It's just like no. When she like speaks outwardly about like political stuff, it like in the past it's barely like changed anything. Honestly, like
I think the most she'd ever done was kind of like explaining to her fans how they could vote in this state.
Yeah, and
that's like the most active thing.
It barely did anything. It's just like I don't know. I mean, it's nice. It's nice for like celebs to say, you know, like support good things, but it's like I don't just don't like.
In general, it's probably better if they are commenting on things that they're actually informed about.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what you want.
Like Macklemore, like God bless his soul. He at least seemed to like actually care about it.
Yeah, Macklemore at least like, you know, tested it out before he went pro-gay, right?
Well, no, I mean look at the Palestine stuff. He's been like really good about.
Okay. I thought you were doing a bit.
No. I mean,
did he do pro-Palestine stuff? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, he did a lot of like actually really like made up some very nice statements.
That would have been the last person I would have expected. Very well.
A while ago he did do that anti-Semitic thing where he put on like the makeup to make himself look Jewish.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know if he's
Take the
still,
good with the bad.
because people were like saying, like, when he was saying the Palestine stuff, they're like saying like, has everyone forgotten about this? And like, to be fair, he never really like actually apologized. He just said it was like a joke or something.
I think that's probably sometimes that's like the most you could get out of person. I feel like it's only a major problem if it's like what it was like super fucking malicious.
I mean,
You
it was pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty bad to do.
It was the caricature was like, it was
what,
pretty
to do
mean.
Jew face? Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
bad.
it was pretty mean. But like,
we should cancel him.
he's already. It's come and gone.
Eddy, any opinions on Macklemore?
Macklemore opinions. Any Macklemore opinions?
The music is bad. That's pretty much all I have to say.
You don't like his song where he's like
at the thrift store?
That's the only one I know. And then the one about not being gay.
I was in the 5th grade. I thought I was gay because I could draw.
Well, that one was true though for you though, Raven.
That is true. Yeah, I thought I was gay because I could draw.
And it turned out right. Like whoa.
I thought I was psychic because I could read.
It's cool.
Yeah, you know Matilda. That's who. That's who inspired
Oh yeah.
I thought I could move things with my mind because
I wish.
I wish I could do that.
That's really fucking cool.
What if you could draw by moving the pen with your mind? That would be a game changer.
Yeah, that's basically what drawing is.
Yeah, but with you do that with your hand.
Except with your hands.
Yeah, I could do that with my mind. I use my mind to type in my prompt in the AI generator. I'm making art with my mind.
That's right. That's.
Oh no.
Yeah. Thank God. Finally, finally the machine will make my comics for me.
I watched a movie recently.
No, just your clone.
Yeah, my clone. That's more ethical.
Your clone is just gonna be spending all day just making AI art.
Well,
just plugging in prompts.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly.
When you listen to some of these AI guys talk, they do like treat it like a hours long process because you have to go in, type the same prompt 20 times before you get anything remotely usable. Then you have to go in, do your paint over, but then the paint over makes the art worse. So then you have to do 50 more of the same prompt until it comes out correctly. It's like, just learn to draw.
That is work, I guess. Sort of. It takes up time.
The only skill in AI generating is trying to trick the generator to give you like titties. I think that's like a skill, right?
Yeah.
It blocks you if you just type in like big titty. So you have to like you have to think of ways to go around it, right? And I think that's the real skill. It's not the like, oh, make it give me a better fucking prompt. Nah, that's stupid. It's got to be like, how can I make the machine give me like tits or, I think that's way more. That's where we got to focus our money on. I feel.
I watched a movie with AI in it.
Oh, you saw Late Night with the Devil? Oh, we talked about that in the last episode. What's your take, buddy?
My take is that it is. You ever seen that movie? It's basically my Letterboxd review. That's all my take. Like, have you ever seen VHS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen VHS.
Or like one of those movies. It feels like a segment from one of those movies, except there's like bad AI art. Long, and there's bad AI art in it. So
I could see a VHS segment having AI art.
It would. They do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't like it very much.
Did you see Late Night with the Devil, Eddy?
I did not. I've never even heard of it, but I do like VHS. But it doesn't.
Which one's your favorite VHS?
Hopefully, I'm thinking of the right horror short series, but I really like that one where it's like a cult, and it's like they're like
Indonesia
or Indonesia, yeah, and it's a cult.
Yeah,
and they show up, and it's like D-Day at the cult. I thought that one was so fucking good.
That one's really good. That one's fun. I think that's from VHS 2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
VHS
from,
2 is actually, all of them are actually pretty decent, but that one is like really memorable.
Yeah. There's always, at
Mhm.
least in one of them, there's always like one that's I enjoy
Yeah.
at least.
I always been kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I tend to not like most anthologies because I feel like, in my opinion, only like one or two of them are just usually worthwhile, and the rest are very like whatever,
Mhm.
you know. So it feels like I wasted most of my time, you know. But
Yeah.
I rather watch like an episodic anthology, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like those Masters of Horror ones.
Oh yeah, I have all those on DVD, and I got it as a
Nice.
gift. Like, yeah, I got it as a gift years ago, and I haven't seen through all of them yet, and I keep forgetting I
There's
have
some
them.
good ones. There's some really good
Mhm.
ones. And there's some kind of like bad but hilarious ones, like the one about what if George Washington was a cannibal.
Why
What
would he-
if? Am I right?
that's scary.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa, he's not supposed to be a cannibal. This sounds kind of interesting.
Interesting.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Mm-hmm. What was I gonna say? The last VHS I saw was the one with like the Rat Man one, because like
Oh,
I
yeah.
kept seeing like the Rat Man memes, and that short was kind of whatever.
It wasn't very
I-
good.
Yeah, and one part I didn't like was like, because it starts with like a news segment where they're like, "Oh, there's a Rat Man. Here's like an artist like depiction," and it's literally just like, it just looks just like it, right? And I thought like it was a missed opportunity to like make the artistic interpretation look way different, because like now we just know it just looks like that,
Yeah.
right? So I think they really shot themselves in the foot by doing that. And I feel like there's like no, like, I don't know, there's nothing like too interesting with it, because like, oh, we're gonna go into the tunnels and find the Rat Man. They find the Rat Man, the end.
Yep.
Right? Like, it doesn't like, I don't know, there's not like twists and turns to it.
I guess there's
You
the
know.
twist of everyone like worshiping the Rat Man or something.
Yeah, I guess, right? But don't they mention that like earlier? Like, I swear they mentioned like, oh, there might be a cult down there or something. It's
Yeah.
nothing too out there.
I mean, the
Um,
VHS movies are kind of like dumb. You
Yeah,
just
there's a
kind
lot
of
of
have
like
to.
hit and misses.
They're just dumb, but like it's sometimes they're fun. Like the one Eddie was talking about with like the cult. Like that one
Yeah.
isn't like genius, but it's like it's still like super. It's still very entertaining and fun.
The one with the Rat Man, there's like one that's like second to last, which I think is the best one, which is one I think from like an East Asia director that was really fucking cool, about like cyborg people being tested on in a facility. And
I
like,
remember that one.
yeah, that one's cool. Like, our main character has a fucking camera for a head, and there's like a weird. It feels very like Resident Evil, right? Like she has to gun her way through a bunch of other like militia and cyborgs that are in that facility. It's really fucking cool. I cannot remember the others, so they probably weren't that interesting.
You know, what
Probably not.
VHS needs is a little ghoulish zombie guy to introduce each segment with a pun.
They might do that eventually.
They should do that.
You're so right. The Crypt
Yeah,
Keeper is so cunt. I love her.
He's so good.
Yeah.
He's so baby girl. He's so mother. He's so cunt. He slays.
He is.
He is all those things. They might do that eventually. You heard that VHS people do that for the next movie, but put like, here's a twist. Make all the shorts good. That'd be really cool. I would love to see that
Yeah.
anthology.
So
the
far, they
John
haven't done that.
Carpenter, like what is it? It's like the
Cigarette
John
burn?
Carpenter. Oh no! It's like it's the Tales from the Crypt, but it doesn't have the Crypt Keeper. It's like John Carpenter is like playing
The
the role
host?
of the Crypt Keeper. He's the
Yeah.
host, and he's like working in a morgue. I like those ones a lot, and John Carpenter is really like he's cute with it as the host.
I like the one with the guy who's like a ventriloquist, but it's a twist that it's like his fucking conjoined twin under his fucking hand.
Yes,
That one's
that's
great.
a
That's
great
fun.
twist.
I've never
Yeah,
seen that.
yeah.
That sounds fun.
It's pretty wacky. It's really like, especially towards the end, like the direction it goes to is very like, I don't know. As a kid, have you ever like seen a horror movie where like there's like a tiny creature monster, and you always thought to your head like, I bet I could stomp the shit out of that, I bet it wouldn't hurt me because I could kill it instantly. Right? It's very much like me and my buddies would have like hammered ET to death. I'll tell you that much kind of energy.
I feel that way about alligators and crocodiles.
Do you feel like you could be? Oh my god, I get that intrusive thought too, where like I hear someone gets like attacked by a wild animal, and then in my head I'm like, I bet I could fight off that animal.
No, okay, I'll be clear. Like a cougar, I don't think I could fight off, but a crocodile, I think I could. I think I could beat a crocodile because you just got to jump on it. It's so low down, you just jump on it.
Like Mario.
Like a Goomba.
Yeah.
It's easy.
It will probably see you coming and like do the little barrel roll move.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. They just stay low down to the ground. They do this. This
was reminding me, I saw Sting with a friend, and I was basically thinking, what if they just didn't keep the spider? Like, all the dad character had to do was go in, kill the spider, movie over.
Which movie?
Is that like an 80s movie, Sting? About like
no, this came out this year. It's a horror movie about a spider that gets bigger and like kills an apartment complex.
Oh, word.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why they call it Sting, because spiders don't sting, but maybe it sounded better in marketing.
No, have you ever seen Eight-Legged Freaks or whatever it's called?
Yes, I remember commercials for that. My little baby brain was like, I gotta see Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh, yes. Where did you see it? Eddie?
I remember seeing it in theaters when I was a kid. I was probably like 10 or so and being really stoked.
I was over at my uncle's house, and I remember there's a scene where there's like a cat, and it drags the cat. A spider drags the cat into the wall, and it's like smashing the cat into the wall, and it's like leaving like imprints of the cat in the wall, and it's supposed to be
that was very cartoony.
But I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh no, that's poor. I felt really bad for the cat. I was like, oh no, they're hurting the cat.
And has that influenced your work ever since?
Maybe subconsciously.
Do you think someone read that screenwriting book, Kill the Cat, and took the advice literally?
That's an actual book?
I think so, yeah.
Wasn't it called Don't Kill the Cat?
Maybe that is what it's called.
Right, it's like some sort of like popular script writing book. I haven't read it.
Like an Alien. They don't kill the cat in Alien.
True, and it's a good movie. That's the recipe right there.
There it is.
The book is actually called Save the Cat. So.
Okay. Did you look that up, or did you know that already?
No, I looked it up. No, I don't know anything about screenwriting. I'm self-taught, so
No, I could tell. No one. Yeah, it's very obvious.
By the way, that manga, I was comparing Villain Verse 2 as Apocalypse Zero. I just remembered the name.
Oh, Kagugo no Susume. I love that.
It's interesting, like, to hear what people compare like Villain Verse to, because like I've had people say like, oh, this feels like a slave labor graphics comic, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
A little bit.
Yeah, the publisher that did Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. They're still around, apparently.
Yeah, they're local to me, actually. They're San Jose, California.
I thought they got shut down.
Their website is active.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they're still alive in the same way that Tokyo Pop is still alive.
Yeah. They're going. They have a shop. It's like down the street from me, actually. I don't know how often they're like publishing new titles, but
you should break in there. Yeah, break in there. See what it's like.
I mean, I go there sometimes. They have like drink and draw with like a DJ and shit like that. But it's kind of mostly like people bringing their kids to draw, and then like the parents are drinking. But it's still a vibe, I guess.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Apocalypse Zero. I've heard of this. It's really
you probably like
it's really cool looking. Yeah. Isn't like the main villain like transgender or something, or they change their gender?
I mean, no, it's sort of, I don't know.
Wasn't like
it's very unclear. We need the author to like give the definitive like clarification.
It's someone who got force femmed. He got force femmed.
Nice.
I have never read this. It looks really crazy.
It is.
It is very crazy.
I
Great
heard about
ending,
it
though.
on
Like if you ever watch a Trigger anime or anything by that one director, the one that like does the exaggerated stuff, it's very him core.
That's cool. The art looks super exaggerated. I'm seeing like a leathered mommy with a crazy stretched out face, and it's like riding on some kind of rat fink thing. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's very like gross. But
I'm gonna post an image of the manga, so I remember to put it in the video. Come on, damn it, load, damn you. Okay, it's doing it. Now it's doing it. Now we're talking. But yeah, this looks. I heard about this when I was reading through the Bog Leech website. You guys know Bog Leech?
Oh boy, do I!
Yeah.
Yeah, Bog Leech is cool. They're a creator. I had them on my podcast once years ago.
Yeah, I saw.
Before Villainverse as well. So pre-Villainverse era. Oh man, I really like. I want to make more comics. It's tough, like doing a full-time thing. Plus, like, I'm back to doing like Lyft and making like ends meet and like paying like rent. Earlier this morning, I woke up early today because I had an appointment with my tax guy, and I know what you're gonna say. Weren't taxes due like last month? Well, yeah, you're right. But anyway, yeah, there was a whole rigmarole with there was a valet job I had like a couple months ago that I didn't get fired from. Technically, it's more like I got banned from the premises, so I wasn't like able to work there, and they wanted to move me to a different hotel to valet somewhere else, but the location they picked was way more farther than what I would want to drive to, so I just didn't, answer any of their calls or like said I quit or anything, and I just found another job, right? And so that job, like they've been like really like fumbling me and giving my W-2, and I've been going for an annoying process to like try to like get it from them because everyone who works at their headquarters is just a machine. There's like no real people there,
That's crazy.
I had to go back to my I had to go back to the office of that valet job to really like talk to the manager, being like, look, what's going on, right? And it was like a long back and forth. Nothing like off, like we weren't aggressive about it. It was pretty calm, but it was just very frustrating. I had to get to that point, That being said, what's really funny though is that like I found out because as I was leaving, I look at the schedule and I noticed all the supervisors who I was working under when I used to work there don't work there no more,
Oh.
And like I brought that up. I'm like, oh, I noticed so and so doesn't work here no more. And then he literally gives me like the tea, right? Like he really goes down like, oh, this is what happened to all of them. And it's like one after another they got fired.
Wow.
Right?
I wish people did that for me whenever I ask.
Do people like people say like, fuck off?
Dismissed when I say, hey, what happened to such and such? Like, he's gone. And I'm like, I can see that. Give me the tea.
Yeah. No, I think because this boss was, I know he was like a newer guy when I first joined, and all the supervisors were kind of like people who've been there for years, and like the manager before him was super lax, so they did all sorts of like things for shits and giggles. And I think with this newer manager, like they got like, the shenanigans ended, like it caught up with them eventually in the end, because like all the things, I don't really want to say too much, but like there's like a lot of things I knew about the place, and I like a lot of like kind of like day drinking-esque things were happening at this valet place, right?
Uh-oh.
And I just caught up with the supervisors basically. And I mean, the one that I really liked didn't like get fired. He just put in his 2 weeks notice, so like that's good at least, But there was a supervisor there I remember being like super racist, and he got fired not because he was caught being racist, but because he like crashed one of the cars, right?
So he was day drinking?
No, not actually. I don't know. I don't know because he would brag about being like the best driver there, and he got fired by crashing a car.
I guess not. Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. I mean, like crashes could happen for any. Like I could when they explained what his crash was, I was like, I could see myself getting in that situation if you just like simply forget how the parking structure works. You know. Sorry, like I'm not giving full details about it. Bet it sounds super boring to the audience.
Oh no, they are super into this right now. Someone is doing a self designed diagram of the parking structure in their head just to like keep up with your narrative.
All that matters is all the people that I hate got fired, which is really like the only cool thing about it. Really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Villain redemption.
Yeah, true.
You ever run into someone from an old job at your new job and it's like, what are you doing? Following me around?
Yeah, that's happened before. And also with like former roommates. Like I see them at like jobs I am and I ask them like, hey, how's it going? And they like explain to me. Usually like I notice it's never like, oh, things got better. Like it's usually things got worse like after I left, you know. I'm like a moral center for people, I guess.
Good luck charm.
Yeah, exactly. Once I leave, it's over, you know. It's crazy because I got banned from the premises for like recording like cops when they were like tackling like an unhoused person.
Oh.
Like a supervisor of the hotel saw me and said, no, don't do that. And then like when I tried to come in the next day, they told me like, yeah, you're like banned from this hotel, dude. Sorry. And
Wow.
it's like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
That
and then like, but I did get a job pretty soon after that. But that like first week of getting the job, my like car caught on fire. But I think a lot of my fans know that already. They know about my car catching on fire saga.
I remember
It's nothing
that.
new. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't there when your car caught on fire. I was the one who did it. I was the one who arrested the car.
You, fuck you. Oh, it was you.
Yeah.
Dude, you take great fucking pain out of me. This is part of your charade, part of your scheme.
You said something that annoyed me online, so I stole your car.
Okay, well, you say things that annoy me online all the time, so and you don't see me trying to kill you.
That's why I don't have a car, so nobody can get back at me. That's why I don't drive.
I got you. All right, I got a question for you guys. Tell me if you might be able to answer this. But what would you say is like a Christian story?
What?
Narnia.
Yeah, I was gonna say
okay.
Narnia. That was like the first thing that came into my brain.
I'm not. What
That's
about
like the most
Narnia
famous
makes
one,
it Christian?
second only to
I'm not trying to do
the Bible.
Okay, because
Narnia is like explicitly Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know the lion is like Jesus, right? Like, but I don't know about like anything else that's like explicitly Christian about Narnia, I guess.
There's a lot of like metaphors for like religious stuff.
Mm.
I mean, the big one is the fact that like God, Jesus basically exists in it. And he get like rises from the dead and stuff like that, and like just like a lot of the way things are like framed is very like religious and stuff, and like the way they talk about him is like just very religious. Like it's explicitly just like things you hear people say about like religious figures. I don't know.
I gotcha. I just been kind of like thinking about. I've been for the past like couple of weeks. I've been like collecting information of this one particular guy and kind of like profiling him to kind of like have a podcast where I talk about him. He goes by like Isaac Young, and he's like this right-wing like indie writer, and he's very kind of interesting to me because I feel like he has like interesting takes, but like a lot of his like paragraphs are like he'll say something kind of like insightful and then he'll end it with like but there's no way like a liberal or woke person could do this because woke people are like completely evil and they don't know how to create things. They only destroy things, right? Like that's usually how all of his like essays go, you know.
What's
And
his
and
name?
his name is Isaac Young.
Okay.
Yeah, he and I sent you one of his articles, Raven, because the Adventure Time one.
Oh, right. I remember now. I never ended up reading that. I got distracted.
No,
You
it's
think
fine.
Isaac Young has ever read Out of the Silent Planet?
Maybe. Who wrote that?
The Narnia guy.
Maybe he
It's
has.
science fiction, so I figured that might be his wheelhouse. Just something to slip into your Nardwar portfolio for him.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been pretty big. I've been going through a lot of his articles because I wanted to just kind of like zero in on like the bigger things he talks about. He mentions like there's this thing I noticed where like these like right wingers will call things like Christian stories, but it seems like I don't know. The only consistency is that like if they like the story, it counts as Christian. You know?
Yeah.
And
there are probably some Doctor Who stories that you could categorize as Christian. Like he's very much portrayed as a sacrificial sort of a figure.
Right. And I was just been like, I don't know, I've been kind of thinking about that because like it almost has like the same energy of when people call like a story like gay, like, oh, this story feels very gay, and there would be like no like homosexuals or like homosexuality at all in a story, but you could still like call it gay because I mean I do that, you know.
Like a Metal Gear.
Yeah. I don't know much about Metal Gear, but I do hear that a lot.
Yeah, Metal Gear is pretty like homoerotic from what I could tell.
I was like, when I think of like a story that like, oh, there's no gay people in it, but it's very gay, it's like the Lego Batman movie, right? But like I think that's like the joke, right? That this feels very gay, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like on purpose, you know? And I think that's different from like, I like Dragon Ball Z and that makes Dragon Ball Z a Christian story, you know? Like, I don't think it's like the same thing.
Dragon Ball Z Christian?
Right? Because, yeah, Dragon Ball Z Christian, right? Like, I don't know if I think it's like the same thing, you know? What do you think, Eddie? You wrote a book about heaven and hell.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't know. I wasn't really trying to say very much about religion. It was more like just kind of the setting for suffering, and for Pinky and Pepper Forever. It's more like hell is just the same as Earth. It's like if you're gonna be if you're gonna do you in, you might as well do you in hell. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm
very Hasbin Hotel of you to do.
I guess so. Oh man, I watched that recently, maybe just a few episodes of it. But then I like made a post on Instagram being like, "Oh, do you think the creator of Hasbin Hotel has read Pinky and Pepper Forever?" Because I thought, hell, they're like in the same niche, you know? Like I wonder if she has. And then
that would be cool.
So promptly, like dozens of my like dozens of my followers like flood my inbox with like every problematic thing the Hasbin Hotel lady has ever done.
Yeah, there's a
like,
very
okay.
There's a very like strong like there's like a very strong anti-Vizzy Pop like brigade out there, you know. They really like don't like her, you know.
I just found out who she is. Like I just watched a couple episodes of this it's not even on Netflix, it's on fucking Amazon. So I'm like, you know, yeah. It's news to me, but I thought it was ambitious, you know. It was unique, and I can say that's fine.
It's I think all my like buddies like it, and I just have not like taken the time to like get into it. I have like, I don't know if I'd say against my will, but I've been in the same room as like I've been in the same room as episodes of Hell of a Boss are playing on the TV, and And I mean, like, Hell of a Boss seems kind of fine, I guess. I know it's like, I don't know if it's supposed to be the same universe. I don't think they contradict each other, so they could technically still be in the same universe.
I think they
Yeah.
are in the same universe.
Yeah. Because it's like the same art style, and yeah, they don't explicitly contradict, so it's like fine.
I think
Right.
in like one of the new like Hell of a Boss episodes, they showed like one of the guys from Hasbin Hotel in it or something.
Mhm.
I think I prefer Hell of a Boss.
I haven't seen Hell of a Boss. I think I watched one episode actually a long time ago, but I never watched it anymore.
Hell of a Boss is one of those shows that like had like a premise, but they kind of like drop it pretty earlier on to kind of tell more.
It's kind of Hasbin Hotel also.
Yeah, to more like kind of like the drama between characters. That's a very busy pop thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, like, hey, I mean, that's kind of like I'll compare it to this, but that's a very much like a drawing a web comic for a very long time kind of energy, right?
Yeah.
Where like you have like a premise with like whatever the fuck, and then like just over time it just becomes kind of like this interpersonal drama. Like it's so hard to like, I want to say hard, but like someone like me, it's like it's hard to like do like the premisey like kind of like Bongo Luna thing forever without eventually I start doing lore and interpersonal drama and whatnot. I guess because you just want to like start writing things that are a little bit more kind of like compelling for you. And I guess like that's kind of like what I eventually like, I guess started off with like a My Alien Girlfriend kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a thing that kind of happens. I've been kind of getting more in the rhythm of doing like one-off kind of like comics. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen them. I post them on my Instagram and whatnot,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Alien Girlfriend too.
Yeah, I noticed when you like the smaller comics that I make, Eddy, specifically anyone that's like a furry joke. I always notice you tend to like those.
I love the furries. I gotta drop the likes for the furries.
Mm-hmm. You gotta drop the likes by default for the furries. I've been recently into making more of these kind of like short like horror comics. I don't know if you saw my did you see my Flingus and Friend comic?
No.
I don't think so.
No. Oh boy.
No, I read the one with that was like a collab comic of all those girls in a drain pipe.
The one that was in the drain pipe?
Tell me more about the Flingus.
The Flingus is a little kind of like a lot of my one-shot comics are just kind of like me and like a Discord chat, like just like saying random shit with my friends, and I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be super funny if this thing just kind of happens, right? And depending on people's reaction, I actually draw it, right? And that's where a lot of the magic comes from. But I'll post the Flingus comic. Here's like the first page of it. It's only like 2 pages, and there's no like dialogue. I don't know if you've seen it or not yet. This one right here.
I killed him.
Oh no!
I killed him.
You seen this one?
Oh no! No, I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah.
This is definitely in the killing ET with hammers vibe.
Right, exactly.
There's also some I could see some Raven vibes. I really liked in the second chapter of the Getting Better book where it's like this is a crabs in a bucket metaphor, but we're actually killing crabs. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, there's a lot of visceral emotion that can come from just destroying something kind of cute.
Right.
But why?
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I have never heard of crabs in a bucket before in my entire life.
Wow.
Really?
Okay, so it's like basically people say like, oh, Like,
I'm looking up
and
right
that's
now.
crazy. That's crazy because it's like, people are like, oh, like if you catch the crabs in a bucket, like the other ones are gonna like try to climb up to the top, but like you're all fucked anyway. So like,
I mean, that's
why?
basically
And,
kind of what I was going for, except I just didn't know this
right,
was like a metaphor.
because like the main character who's like the leader of the moon school now is like, I followed my directions, like listen to me, you know, like, so
yeah,
they're kind of like they
I
think they're the
didn't.
head crab in the bucket, but they're all crabs.
I didn't know that was that was a thing. That was totally
That's awesome.
unintentional.
You're tapped into like a collective subconscious then, because it really works.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're kind of like a genius or something. I don't know. Throwing it out there.
Thank you.
That's cool when like you look at someone's work and you like notice like, oh, you're obviously doing this, right? And it's not like, no, I had no idea that was like a thing.
I feel like a lot of because I don't know. I don't think like I'm bad at thinking literally sometimes with stories. So I just do things sort of, and then like later on, I realize like sometimes in my brain, like, oh, I was like doing it like a metaphor with that, but I didn't even like, I wasn't thinking of it literally. So I was just like, I just kind of like did it organically. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think that's the preferable way to be a writer, because whenever I start writing something, I start with the metaphor and work my way backwards like an asshole.
It's like these characters in this new comic, not the one on my Patreon, but another I'm working on. Like they're all like genetic half dog people, and they grew up super fast as a result. And I wasn't even thinking that, and I realized like, oh yeah, the reason they grew up really fast because it's like a metaphor for their like sort of like bad childhoods, basically.
Nice.
But I didn't even like. I just sort of like came to that via like just like kind of like picking away at stuff.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I gotcha. No, that's really fucking cool. I gotta read more of your comics. I've been lagging.
It's okay.
A little adult homework for our viewers: read more of their comics.
Yeah, read more. Read Pinky and Pepper 2 when that comes out.
Yeah, that's a good comic.
I have some other like short comics I've done more recently too. I'm always
like
wanting to make more. Yeah, I made this like Pokemon fan comic recently. That was
I read
fun.
that one. That was pretty great.
I wanted to do like an epilogue for it when I reprint it, so I'll probably do that for the next round of copies. But the comic is called Dark Knight of the Umbreon. And
wait, yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, the comic is called Dark Knight of the Umbreon, and the tagline is, I guess it's about a pathetic level 30 Eevee who's desperate to evolve to Umbreon.
Yeah, that was cute. I liked it.
Yeah, anyone who's played the games know that you have to level up your friendship to evolve to Umbreon, and when you have no friends, that's impossible.
That's really cool. I love it when people kind of like get like, I mean, like, you know, literally like you're taking something from like, I guess, a franchise, and then you're recontextualizing like the thing, like, oh, what does this mean, right? You know, or not what it means, but kind of like, oh, this is why does it do that? It's like, oh, well, you know, video game logic, obviously, but like, oh, but what if there's something deeper going on, you know, with that logic? Fun. Yeah, it is. It makes me feel smart, you know, when you think of things like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a similar thought with about brought this up on a previous podcast, but like for example, and you guys heard of the Ninja Turtles?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So in the Ninja Turtles, there's a bunch of other mutants, and all the other mutants always kind of have like a gimmick or something. You know, they have some sort of personality quirk they stick with, right? And I always kind of interpreted that as kind of like when you get mutated, it's like an opportunity to kind of like, you know, kind of like I guess like establish yourself, like kind of like create a whole different you now, because like the mutated you is like different, so now it's like a window of opportunity to like portray yourself differently, you know. So like you see these mutants like pick like kind of like weird or kind of specific like personality quirks, and they just kind of stick with that, you know. And I mean, they just do that obviously because like it's a cartoon, you know, and it's for kids, so you have characters have singular like two-dimensional personalities because that's easy to understand, right? But I don't know. It's kind of like oh, this is a person who has I guess been disfigured because of being mutated, but instead of like being like, oh, woe is me, like, oh no, now I'm just gonna be the wacky surfboarding mutant, right? Like that's
this
my gimmick now.
This
Yeah, this
kicks
is so fucking
ass.
cool, right?
This
Yeah.
kicks ass. Now I've got big lizard hands.
Right, exactly. There was a moment in my life where I wanted to do a short film about a guy who like it would be kind of like found footage style, I guess, like analog horror or whatnot. But he's like vlogging about his slow transformation to some sort of creature that's like pale with like long limbs. And he's like, the way he explains it is like, this is like the coolest shit that ever happened to me. Like, look at how my body is like stretching and I'm turning into some weird pale monster. And everyone in his life is like freaking out, like, dude, you should go to a doctor. But he's like, no, why? This is so awesome. I feel great. Like that I'm turning into a creature. Right.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'll probably do that eventually later. That's an idea in the noggin. It's kind of similar to are you guys familiar with House of Decline?
Yeah.
What, the guy on Twitter?
Yeah, the Twitter comic artist.
Didn't she just come out as trans or something?
Yes, she did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm friends with her.
Oh yeah, I love these comics. I love these comics.
Yeah, House of Decline is cool. Eddie, if you want to meet them, I've had them on the podcast before. If you're interested. Cool. I mean, yeah.
There's some hits. There's some House of Decline hits.
Oh yeah. My favorite one is the Matrix like role playing where like the guy is like puts his dick in the other guy's butt and he has like Matrix glasses and he's like, I'm in.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right. Yeah. But they're a cool person though. I talk to them a lot, mostly for like they do a lot of like Twitter spaces and like I hop in. We've had them on the podcast. And they made this longer comic. I don't know if you read it, called Together. And it's not like a 4-panel like shit post, right? It's like, you know, kind of like it's kind of an actual story. And what's really cool is that like there's a really big angle of like using body horror as like something beautiful, right? You know, like that's kind of like the big metaphor. They have the whole comic like pinned on their Twitter, and they made it like
I'm seeing a website right now. It looks really nice. I'll read this soon.
It's really good. I mean, not to spoil it, but it did kind of like make me cry like towards the end. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
Wow. Comics are powerful.
Comics are powerful stuff. Have you read it, Raven? You can say no, it's fine.
That one? No, I haven't really. No.
Do you like House of Decline, Raven? You don't gotta answer it if you like if you hate her.
I don't hate her. It makes some funny stuff sometimes. I'm just like, it's not like super my thing. But.
I got.
Yeah, I'm jealous of all of you. I can't recall a single comic that has ever made me cry.
Oh, I mean,
I barely cry at all. I can't cry.
Half the problem.
Yeah,
that's God punishing you.
Yeah,
took away your sadness. Now you can't feel it.
Damn.
Yeah, you've been cursed.
I was really moved by a comic recently. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was like one of those comics on Shortbox when they had like that big Shortbox thing, but there were so many of them. I'm trying to remember. It was about a ghost and it was really good.
Oh,
that narrows it.
Shortbox ghost comic.
I think I might know what you're talking about.
Which one do you think it is? Do you think you could help Eddie here?
I'm trying to remember. Shortbooks puts out like a lot of little things, right?
There's so much stuff. I'm like looking at my downloads now because I did download it.
I have a little comic I got bought from you at like a VanCaf, I think, or something, back in 2018.
Oh yeah, what was that?
It was like how to draw comic or something, like for the kids.
Yeah, there's like a new version of that, or maybe that's the one you got.
Maybe.
Yes, if it has like a decent cover stock, then it's the new version. Yeah, making comic zines. I like made this sort of curriculum thing when I was like teaching middle schoolers. And then Silver Sprocket was like, this is so good. Like, we're always getting kids in here being like, how do I draw comics? So like, will you make this so that we can give it to them? And I'm like, fine. Like, can I make it anonymously? Like, don't put my name on it, this and that. Cause I'm just like, I'm so, I really don't like kids getting into my comics because I don't want to have to like be responsible for them.
Yeah,
like,
it might be too late.
Like, not for them, you know. And obviously, it's out of my control. But like, you know, it's like fine. Like, it's out of my control. It's not my responsibility. But like, when this was proposed to me, I was like really like anti putting out like a kid thing, but now I'm pretty grateful for it because when like little kids come up to my table because it's like full of like shiny Pokemon shit, I can be like, oh, this is for you, you know, like don't worry about the other stuff.
Yeah,
but,
that's cute.
Yeah, the other thing that's funny about that book. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh no, say what you're gonna say. It's fine.
Oh no, it's just because like ever since I made it, like. And I've tried to like teach kids with it. Like the kids, like, they think it's so cringe that I made it. They're just like, ew, you drew this? Like, ew, like
what?
Whatever, like whatever. And then I hear from like other teachers being like, I used your book to teach my class, and like kids loved it. They were like obsessed with it. And I think it's like it's the difference between like being there as your actual self, like being like, I made this shit is what the embarrassing part.
Yeah, maybe
to middle schoolers.
Maybe it's you, Eddie.
Yeah, it feels like you're like self-promoting or something.
Yeah, you bring out a bad vibe to these kids.
Maybe I do. I really hated school, and it was really difficult for me to stay in a classroom. So I think when I have done teaching gigs in the past, I'm like just battling my internal like school fight or flight mode.
Right. Yeah, I hated school also.
School sucks.
Yeah. Did anyone here like school? I don't think.
I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't hate it. I mean, I was fine. I don't know. I liked school, but like I'm not the kind of guy to be like, oh man, I missed the good old days kind of thing. Like, right. That's not me. Because no, I actually like my life now, like a lot more than going to high school.
If my parents never socialized us, I would probably have been like an ultra jock.
Oh wow,
that probably would have fixed it. That probably would have fixed everything, Julian.
One time when I was selling my comic at this zine fest thing here in Vancouver, two people, I think, one person, a kid walked up, looked through my comic, said, this kid is like 11 years old. He was like, pretty good. And then he's like, can I buy it? And then his parents bought it for him. And then another person bought it, and they told me specifically like, oh, I'm going to give this to my son. I just thought it was like very funny that people were like getting this comic for their kids.
That's happened to me before when I was selling like Villain verse in person. Like someone asked me like, is this like comic appropriate for kids? I'm like, no, not really. There's a lot of like gore and like, I mean, it's all cartoon, like wacky aliens killing each other, but there's a lot of gore. And he's all like, oh no, it's fine. My kid loves like Jujutsu Kaisen. And I'm like, all right, then, well, whatever, you buy it.
Yeah. I mean, I think a kid could probably handle my comic. Definitely. Or like even Eddy's comic, you know,
The-
like
Yeah, I
like
give
a
it a
young teen or
It's a
something.
rated T for teen type of vibe.
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, like they're like 13 or something. I could probably handle it.
Sure.
I
yeah.
think like you can't like avoid a kid eventually like getting into stuff they're not supposed to. Like it's gonna
No.
happen,
No.
right? The best thing you could do is like try to teach them not to like be a little freak about it, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Be a little
When I was
fucking
when I was a little kid online, I saw some horrible things before
you-
I should have.
you saw Hot
Should've-
Diggity Demon cartoons and that.
I know that was way before Hot Diggity Demon, but those were very bad.
It's
lot
a
of
shock
stuff.
I'm even remotely sane watching all of those live leaks and Justin TV suicides.
Oh my god!
I'm jealous that I'm jealous of you, Eddie, for that your book is like, oh yeah, we use that in the curriculum, right? Because that's like my fantasy with like a Mick Pagliacci. I want someone to
Ooh.
DM me being like, oh yeah, we were talking about Pagliacci and my teacher put like the video I did with kind of like the motion comic with like voice with like a dub like on in the classroom. That's like my fantasy. Like I want, and it's
That would be
appropriate for kids.
awesome.
There's no swearing in it, you know?
No, I think they'd like it too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty heavy like abuse themes and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
but
like,
that's fine.
again,
Kids
like-
can handle that.
I think kids could handle that.
It's like a G-rated movie.
They can
It's
handle
like a
like
G-rated movie about abuse.
they can handle the Great Gatsby. And the thing is, like, I took out the original opera is a little bit more abusive with the things in it, and my Mick Pagliacci is kind of like the feminist version of Pagliacci.
Wow, that's saying something because he was absolutely fucking awful in that comic.
Oh yeah, true. I mean,
I didn't know anything
right,
about
it
the
could've been
story, but I
worse.
just remember
Could've been
reading that.
way
I was like,
worse.
this guy is absolutely horrible.
Right. Oh man, I kind of want to make it my mission to every year, like to make like one clown comic, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it this year. I was interested in doing like my Joker 2 fan fiction into a comic, but I don't know.
You
The
got to do
People's
it
Jokers
before.
came out.
Yeah, you got to do it before the actual Joker 2 comes out.
Right, exactly. And my Joker 2 was gonna be more crazier and wild than the Lady Gaga Joker. I mean, or I could be wrong. The Lady Gaga Joker could be way better.
Oh,
for
I
all
look forward to that. Did you guys see the People's
Yeah.
Joker? Or
I
hear
didn't
about
see
it?
the People's Joker. I
No,
really
no,
want
I
to
didn't
watch
see
trailers
it.
it.
for it.
Recently. It was so
Was it good?
good. It was so good. You got to see it. You got to see it. It was so
I
good.
really want to see it.
Yeah, it took me
That
a
was
minute.
really fun.
Not gonna lie, I saw the trailer and I'm gonna be like, I want to wait to see it so someone I trust tells me it's good. But like enough people I have like gush about it, so I'm like, all right, now I'll go watch it when they
It was good. It was legit
When I-
funny, and like the style of it was just so crazy. Like it's just there's so much just like digital duct tape holding it together. Like there's like multiple cartoon styles, 2D, 3D, live action. Like people are like acting from like a Zoom call, and then they're just like green screened in. It's so fucking cool.
That's cool. I like that.
That's really cool. I know that what's the name of the person who made the People's Joker?
Vera Drew.
You both said it at the same time. I did not hear you.
Vera Drew.
Vera Drew.
Vera Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I saw that they got access to that Criterion closet where you get to pick all the movies you want for free, and I was
Yeah, she did.
and I'm like, fuck, I want that. That's my dream. I want to go in that
I hope
closet.
they get famous enough to get into that closet.
I
Yeah,
don't
me
want to
too.
go into that stinky closet. Fuck that.
Well, because you
I want
hate,
to
you hate
pick my movies and then tell everyone these are the movies you are supposed to see. If you don't
You-
see these movies, fuck you.
Me and fucking David Cronenberg's daughter can hang out in there, I guess. I don't even know what she was doing in there. I saw that recently. I was like, what has she even done? Like, I know his son directs movies, but like, what has she done? Has she like directed or something? I've like never
I
heard of
loved
that.
that Son of Cronenberg movie, Possessor. I loved that one.
That was a
I
pretty
like,
good movie. I didn't like his
Ooh,
other
that
one as much
good.
though.
Isn't
I
the
didn't
other
like
one
Yeah,
Infinity Pool or
the
something?
cruise ship one. Yeah, that was not.
that one wasn't very good. Another addition to the Knives Out verse, movies about like evil rich people or whatever.
Yeah,
Evil
I
I'm just
love
like, I
movies
get it.
about evil rich people.
Yeah, wealth is grotesque. Like, it's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. When are they gonna make a movie about how evil poor people are and we need to fucking kill
I
them
think that's
all?
called The Purge, right?
Us.
Yeah,
Us.
us. Yeah, us. Actually, you're right. Us is that.
I mean, Us isn't about that.
Us is about how evil, like poor
Yeah, Us
underground
is
people
about
are.
how evil poor people are.
I love Martin Scorsese movies because they're about how evil white guys are. You know, he's always like, look at the most evilest shit white guys are doing. That's so cool. That was very woke of him too.
They're always doing cool, badass stuff in his movies, though.
Yeah, he's always like I always love the ending of Scorsese movies because he always like oh, why is this white guy so evil? And it's like society. That's why. And I think that's really deep. You know.
But he did have some fun. They had some fun. You gotta admit, it was kind of fun.
It was kind of fun. No, you're not wrong.
Wolf of Wall Street, kind of fun. It's wacky when they're doing.
I love that movie.
I hate
literally me. Literally,
I hate the Wolf of Wall Street so much. It's like one of my least favorite movies.
Damn,
that movie's so annoying.
I gotta go. Can I leave?
No, you can't. But thanks for being. Plug your things, Eddie, before you go.
Yeah.
All right. Plug my things. I got Pinky and Pepper Forever Special Edition. Will come out early 2025. You gotta wait. Director's cut and new stuff coming out in the meantime. I hope you can follow me on Instagram or Patreon is even better. It's both at Eddy Adams, EDDYATOMS. And I think the next big fest I'm gonna try to be at is SPX. So please come visit me there.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for having me on the pod, and nice to meet you, Raven. And I'll plug Raven.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
I'm a huge fan.
Next time you're on, we'll talk about. We totally gloss over this, but we'll talk about the Izzy Is video.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, thank you so much to that YouTuber because I mean, I don't watch YouTube like that, but that shit blew my shit up. I mean, like so many people found out about my work through that video, and so I'm super grateful for it. It also kind of blew up the fact that like Pinky and Pepper are like based on dolls, and then like the doll stands were coming for me a little bit. But it was interesting. Like it brought up some interesting things, and like at the end of the day, it's like I'm just kind of anti-copyright, and at the same time, I like toys too. So you know.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, we love to hear it. I'm friends with friends of them, so I can relay the message.
Yeah. Say thank you because that was also the reason why my book sold out really quickly. The last printing of it sold out, and now it's out of print, and I'm a little behind on getting this new edition out. So there's no Pinky and Pepper books right now, which is kind of to my detriment. But
I wish that was me. I wish that was me. All right, get out of here.
All right. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Bye. Nice talking to you.
Bye.
Should we end?
2025. That's actually good news.
No, we can keep going for a little bit. For a little bit more. I'm fine with
just it. Like 10 more minutes or something.
Yeah, 10 more minutes. We got to talk about. I was going to say earlier, I think the reason why they let Cronenberg's daughter into the closet was because Criterion Collection loves Cronenberg, and every Cronenberg movie is in the Criterion Collection for some reason.
They're good movies.
They like his movies.
Some of them are good. They're not all good. I'll say that. They're not all good. Like, hot take.
I need to see, is Cosmopolis in the collection?
Hot take. You know what? Cancel me. Scanners was not that good.
Is that the one where they blow up each other's heads?
Where they blow up that one guy's head, they blow it up. Yeah, that was the movie. That movie.
I don't even understand what that movie's about. Like, it's about how it was like a mental illness thing.
I'll say this. that movie, while watching it, I felt like this feels like the first draft of a script. And when I looked it up, it was literally just the first draft.
Yeah,
So
it feels very rough.
they should remake it though. They should remake it as an anime because I think it'd work. I think there's like enough material in it to make a very kind of cool, like shonen style anime with like scanners and people blowing up each other's head. I think that could work. Franchise potential right there, you know?
Franchise.
Yeah.
Oh, Cosmopolis is not on the Criterion correction. Criterion? Cringe? Question mark, question mark?
Cringe right there.
Yeah, Criterion cringe. That's my rival. That's
Criterion
the rival.
cringe.
Yeah, Criterion.
I don't know.
cringe.
I feel like I was kind of mean to Cronenberg stuff. Maybe she's made like some amazing art. I just never heard of her before.
We know that she's a fan of this podcast, so
Is she?
No.
Okay, good.
That'd be really cool.
I mean, sometimes you say like there's like you get like sort of well-known people on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of my friends don't even tell me to listen to this podcast. It isn't until like years later that they tell me like, "Oh, I was listening to that podcast," and I'm like, "Well, I wish you would have told me earlier." You know, because I like to know. I like being aware of the people who like my shit. You know, I like attention. I'm man enough to admit that. You know.
Okay.
I like
scared.
attention except for when it like blows in my face.
Yeah.
Like everyone is paying attention to every little thing you do. And then they say, hey, remember that time you sneezed in my face? And I'm like, oh my God, why are you paying attention to that?
Yeah. I do. Yeah. It is bad when people pay attention to you in ways that aren't good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I got to go off on Caitlin Cronenberg again. Because I'm looking at her Wikipedia. She doesn't even make movies. She doesn't do anything to do with movies. She's a fashion designer and a photographer. What is she doing in that stinky room?
What a fucking
Why is she
bitch.
there?
I fucking hate her now. She's evil.
I'm not saying I hate her. I'm sure she's a great photographer, but why is she there?
We're an anti.
It's like Cronenberg, like nepotism.
What's her name? Vanessa Cronenberg? Clarissa? What's her name?
Caitlin Cronenberg.
Caitlin. That's awesome. That's a superhero name. She's got a fucking superhero name.
Yeah, she does have a superhero name.
Yeah, this is an anti-Caitlin Cronenberg podcast.
Yeah. They had Hideo Kojima in the Criterion Closet, and he doesn't make movies; he makes video games.
Okay, but his video games are very cinematic, though. Like there's a lot of like cinematic stuff in his games.
Right, exactly. You know, so it counts. You know.
Yeah.
Like villain versus a cinematic comic, which is why they should let me. They should let me be in the closet. What do I gotta do to get in that closet? I gotta make a comic that everyone likes, and that's so hard because I hate everybody, and I don't want them.
Let me in. I deserve to be in there more than Caitlin Cronenberg because I've actually made like little movies, little animations. Get out of here, Caitlin.
I made short films. I made the classic short film Sleepwalker that was in 2 film festivals. Yeah. And
you did make a short film that was in film festivals?
Yeah, it was. The one was like local to my city, and the other one was like in Canada. It was called Sleepwalker. It's on YouTube.
That's cool.
You can watch it. I'll relink it, but it's pretty cool. It's kind of a little. It's a short film, but there's some moments I feel kind of slow. But it has a. I feel like the twist is really like good. Like when people see this twist, they're gonna be like, "Whoa, this cheesy guy."
He knows what he's doing.
He knows a thing or two about scaring the audience, right? He knows what he's talking about.
Is it on your YouTube?
No, it's not on. It's not on this channel. It's on. I have like an old. I have like it's on my Cheesy Classic channel, right? There's a bunch of my like old content that I made, but I basically have like a playlist for all my short films. Right, the first short film I made was Dog Man.
What's that about?
Well, the premise is that it's kind of like I keep giving the illusion that like a jump scare is gonna happen, but it just never happens. Is like the bit, right? And yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I just thought it was like, oh, this would be kind of interesting. A lot of my buddies who watched, it was too avant-garde for my high school. my high school. They thought like, oh, that's too weird. But this short film, Sleepwalker, I made it in community college, right? And I thought it was pretty neat. But
Cool.
short films cost too much fucking money to make. Even if it's like super cheap, it still costs money.
Yeah.
You know? And I was not seeing a return on that investment, you know. So I just kind of stopped and I stick to comics. And comics actually make me money. Not a lot of money, barely any money, but it's way more than short films, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because it's just you doing something.
Yeah. I actually, thanks to this Flingus and Friends comic, I've been more eager to like do more kind of horror comics.
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah, I did follow up like Flingus with this other comic, which is kind of a little bit more, I guess, based on personal experience, kind of. But it's like literally, I made it the same kid from the Flingus comic because I didn't want to take the time to redesign a whole new kid, right? So I'm like, okay, what if it's all these little horror comics are just happening to the same kid, you know? And there's no like real
Right.
continuity. It's just like weird, kind of freaky moments, you know?
That'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. I got a couple more down the line. I had an idea for what I love saying my ideas in the podcast because when I re-listen to it, it reminds me to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I had this one
That's
idea
fun.
where it's like a group of kids, and one kid just says 1, 2, 3, not it, and all the other kids start saying not it, not it, not it, right? And then the last kid is like not, and he's like, you know, he's the last one to say it, and then he starts transforming into like a big gorilla monster, and he grabs the closest kid to him, and he starts like ripping him apart, and that's it. That's the whole comic. That's where he ends. He turns into a big gorilla monster. He just kills a kid,
Wow.
right? Because he was it. You know, he was it. So he was it. He turned into a gorilla monster.
That is how it feels to play that game as a kid.
Mhm,
Yeah.
right. And I'm aiming to make more of these, so by October I can make like a little horror zine, you know, and you know, sell that for. I have like a local zine fest in October, so I think it'd be like appropriate, and maybe I'll do like online pre-orders for that. Make it a little bit juicy for people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I love paying for art, Morty. I love paying for art.
Love paying people for
Oh.
art.
It's Rick and Morty.
Whoa, Rick and Morty in this podcast? No way.
Okay. That's cool.
Raven, what's your next physical comic?
My next physical comic?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm working on the one on Patreon right now. Hopefully that'll be physical at some point.
You don't want to make the problem with getting better too.
No, there's nothing really else to, I think, tell with that story. It's kind of done.
Mm.
I had an idea.
Joke, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it's because I actually have had people legitimately say, like, when are you going to do a sequel and stuff? And it's just like, no, I don't have any. I had, like, at one point, I was kind of working on an idea, but then I just dropped it.
Word, I gotcha.
But yeah, I'm doing the comic on Patreon. Tom Hickey will probably never be physical. It's just going to be digital. And yeah, that's it.
That's really fucking awesome. Well, probably like, I don't know. The problem with getting better, you were like approached. I can see that happening again. You're like popular enough, right?
I guess.
If someone makes a YouTube video about you, it could happen.
Someone made a YouTube video about me?
No, someone makes a YouTube video about you.
Oh, someone makes a YouTube video.
Or like
yeah, I guess that would
mentions you in
help.
the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea if I'm popular or not. I have absolutely no way to gauge that. But like, I would like to probably with my same publisher, Silver Sprocket, the one who did Paradox and Eddy's comic.
Oh yeah, no, they're a
Pinky
pretty
and
good
Pepper.
publisher.
Yeah, they publish a lot of really good stuff. They're great, and they're very sweet and nice.
Someone should start a video essay series about every book Silver Sprocket publishes. Like, just pounce on that. If you're a video essayist and you're out of ideas, bam, I just gave you 12 months of work.
That is
You're
true.
welcome.
I could see a lot of like video essays being made about these comics.
I can't give Silver Sprocket that kind of publicity. They said no to Extra Souls, so it's over. Oh, Raven, did you read Extra Souls?
I didn't read that one. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
It's
is that the
good.
one about with the other person did the art?
Yeah. Mimiori drew it. I wrote it.
Yeah, I'll read that sometime.
Yeah, tell me what you think, because I really like. I don't know if you could tell. I like your insight on things. I think you're a smart person.
Oh, thanks. I don't think I'm that smart. I guess I'm okay. I'm okay at having opinions sometimes.
You might be smarter than me, is what Cheesy's trying to say.
No. Okay, wait, hold on. No, slow down one moment. Hold up. Whoa, bucko.
I figured it would be encouraging to make that establish that dichotomy.
Let's get to this. Okay, I'm kind of like Trump, where he's all like, Lyn Clemens is smart, not as smart as me though, but she's pretty smart. Not as smart as me, yeah, but
not as smart as me.
Raven's comics are pretty good. Not as good as my comics, but they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're no villain verse, but maybe she'll get it right next time. Oh my god,
we should get it right next time.
The next time she's working on her own villain verse. She told me.
Yeah. I've always had an idea that like something that would be very inspired by like anime and manga that I'd want to do sometime in the future, but I think I'd have to get someone else to like do the art. So it might never ever get made.
Nah, it's same with me. I'm really more interested in collaborating with more people, but I've been in a situation, and I would want, like, I don't know, I would want my name to be bigger, so it's kind of like worthwhile collaborating with me a little bit,
Yeah.
Right? But
yeah, that's my main issue.
The Twitter Alan Moore. Everyone is like falling over themselves to collaborate with you.
I'll become Twitter Alan Moore. Yeah, that's my goal.
Twitter Alan, you'd be very grouchy.
Yeah, I'm kind of I'm not that grouchy.
You're not that grouchy.
Yeah, nah.
No. Every other week you're posting like some of you people, some of y'all.
Every week I tweet like one of you is not gonna make it to the weekend every week.
And every week someone dies.
Yeah, exactly. And like Cheesy can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah. A Death Note or something.
Yeah, exactly. I had an idea for a Death Note comic where it's like Death Note, but if Light was smart, and it's like he has the Death Note, opens his desktop and looks up the 600 most richest people in the world, and he starts writing down all their names, and then L is like, I'm gonna catch you, Kira, but then L's butler is like, oh, we can't do that no more, sir. And he's like, why? It's like because all the people who pay us to do this are dead now. Then,
yeah. Why didn't he do? Well, it's because he has his morals.
Because
those are good, hardworking Americans.
Oh. Oil CEOs, nah, they didn't commit no real crime.
They sponsor the School for Genius Orphan Boys. You can't get rid of them.
Exactly.
They're upstanding.
Right, exactly. See, that's how I would not lose. I should have been Kira. I should have been me.
I wouldn't. You know what I would do if I got the Death Note?
What?
I wouldn't use it because I don't want to go to fucking purgatory.
What if I just write purgatory in the Death Note? Would I die? Actually,
that's not a guy. That's not a guy. It's a place.
I would like.
What if we're going by Alan Wake rules, where the place is also a character? You just have to establish within the lore of your own universe that purgatory is a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can make it like
an extra bonus Death Note rule. You can write anything to be a person.
Well, maybe it could be like part of the process of how you kill someone is that purgatory has to. It's like I want Jeff to die on Tuesday by falling down, breaking his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And also I want Purgatory to become a person that I can kill.
Can you write in the death note? I go to purgatory, but I leave and I go to heaven, and I die when time runs out. When it's the end of time.
That's actually good.
Checkmate.
That might work.
Yeah, it could. DM the creator of Death Note.
He's like a weird homophobe, isn't
he? He's like a.
He came out a lot of stuff recently. Oof.
He's not like homophobic, but it's more like if people are homophobic around him, he doesn't care.
He's like a Joe Rogan or something.
Damn, he's a Joe Rogan of manga.
Yeah, he's like a edgy centrist or something.
Yeah,
that makes sense for creating Death Note, right?
I don't know. Death Note's pretty gay, and also it's kind of.
But that's not on purpose. In my opinion,
most of that was added in the anime. All the gay subtext isn't in the book.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly.
You know how people who get angry about manga localizations prefer when everything is translated very straightforward and plainly. They don't want any extra flavor. Mm-hmm. They probably love Death Note and probably hate the anime.
Because isn't there an entire character that got cut out of the anime?
Oh, I don't know.
There's a whole there's another genius boy from the Genius, or he was the assistant. Yeah, it was Mello's assistant or something. He was a pretty major character.
Was it
Oh yeah, I don't remember seeing an anime version of that guy. What happened to him?
I think he was in it for 1 second, and that was it.
I thought they were both in there, but I don't know.
Mello was in it, but the other guy wasn't.
Mello has another guy.
Yeah, he has a little boyfriend or somewhere.
He has a little boyfriend. They should make the People's Death Note. That'd be my movie.
The People's Death Note.
Yeah, that'll get me into the Criterion closet.
Cool.
All right, cool. I think we're exhausted every single topic ever. Raven, anything you want to promote before we head on out?
Tom Hickey's Nature Show, the director's cut on Gumroad.
Hell yeah.
I re-edited an old comic and made it look a little nicer, and it's free, so check it out. And everything else, just Linktree / Lyn Clemens. I got my Patreon there where I update Tomorrow You Don't Know Me, which is a comic I've been working on for 2 years.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
folks, that's 2 years of content. Subscribe now.
2 years of content. Yum 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 yum. I love content.
Yum.
Look at my lips.
Yum yum yum. And and just Linktree is everything. I've got my YouTube. I put little animations on there. Instagram, Lyn Clemens. Yeah. It's all there. Linktree. It'll be down below.
I did look you up on YouTube earlier, and I did just find all your shit posts that you made on YouTube.
I put a lot of those on Twitter also, though.
I see those. Those are good. Those are great.
Thanks.
Yeah. I downloaded one of them. I think it was what was it? Something related to the Avatar guy.
Oh, the James Cameron one.
Yeah. I like that.
Oh yeah. That was an amazing interview with Marianne Williamson.
What else was I going to say? Julian, what do you got to promote?
I have vqcd.in. I keep saying I'm going to update it, but I've been feeling kind of shitty lately. I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I was going to ask, how did you feel about Eddy, Raven?
Eddy? Yeah, it seemed he seemed cool. He left very abruptly. I hope it wasn't because I started talking about how I didn't like Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh no, you know how it is with those high-profile artists. They got stuff to do.
He took that pretty personally.
They took the huge Wolf of Wall Street head over there.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Oh my god. All right. Well, I'm Cheesymanfredo. Follow me on my Twitter. I have a Patreon. I don't post nothing on it. But if you should still give me money on Patreon, so I have to go less to work and I can just make more comics.
Yeah, you post all that free content on Twitter,
Yeah.
You should pay for that.
Yeah, I do. Or maybe I should just start a Ko-fi. I don't know. What should
Ko-fi? I just started that recently. I think I might promote that more.
Has it been fruitful for you?
Well, it didn't help with those little $10 commissions I did. It made it very easy to do them.
Maybe I should do that.
It is good for that.
Yeah, I was just gonna do all my commissions through Ko-fi because people kind of struggle with PayPal sometimes.
That's pretty cool.
Which is ironic because it's all the same entity.
It does all the same thing, but people really do struggle with PayPal.
I might do that, but I hate drawing things for people. I want to draw things for me.
Yeah.
That's the burden. That's the burden of being an artist. Other people exist.
That's just how it works.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, yeah, with that, bye everybody.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording. All right, I'm gonna stop recording now.